Thank you guys for joining me. My name is Midar from Food and Fragrances. Today we are on episode 4 of ranking my entire Boadicea collection. Now, we are hitting fragrances number 15 to number 6, and that being 10 fragrances, we will conclude the video with a 5 to 1 countdown. So even though we're still on fragrance 15, this list is going to be action-packed and filled with fragrances you don't want to miss. So without further ado, make sure, if you haven't checked out the other videos, episodes 1 to 3, get caught up with that so you know what we're doing. But we'll roll my music, and when we get back, we'll start with episode 4. All right. So episode 4, I'm excited because there are some bangers on this list. And to be honest, very much so can't miss fragrances. Now, there are a lot of Boadicea fragrances that are out there, but with 46 being in my collection, including a couple decants, I've done my best to curate a list or fragrances that kind of appeal to me, something that I'm happy with. So even though we're hitting fragrances 15 to 6 in this video, each fragrance is a banger. So with that being said, even though a fragrance may not come as high as you thought it would, the fragrance is still a monster. And I'll let you know as we go about, just like we did before. But before we get started, the one thing I always request you guys to do is make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the comments, let me know what your scent of the day is, or your favorite Boadicea, or what you'd like to see me do next, because I do this for you guys. And I guess we'll come out with video 5 shortly in next week, so you'll get kind of everything, or on Friday of this week, because I think I'm going to drop this on Monday, regardless. So we're going to conclude the House of Boadicea the week this video drops. So, you know, I would love your support. So please, please, please subscribe, comment, share, like. And I guess without further ado, let's jump into the first fragrance on the list. Now, this first fragrance has always been something very, very difficult to describe. It's very complex. It's very unique. A lot of reviewers will put this in their top 3. For me, it's coming in at 15. This is Oud Sapphire. Now, this is a fragrance from Boadicea that is very, very, very well known. This is one of their kind of go-tos, their signatures in the house. Oud Sapphire, at first, when I first got a small decant of it, captured my nose significantly. It was one of those quote-unquote barrier-breaking fragrances. I have a video of that up there. That shaped a lot of my ideology when it came to fragrances. This is a tremendous fragrance, absolutely. Coming in at 15 is still no small task. It's still a big thing. But in my opinion, there are other iterations of this fragrance that are out there. Al-Samad Qureshi blend. You got Majlis from Spirit of Dubai, which kind of brings in a little bit more of a fruitier aspect to it. But what Oud Sapphire captures in all essence is its aromatic, herbal, spicy nature. There's some beautiful ingredients in here. You have ingredients such as marigold, which gives it sort of like that tinge, that sourness herbal effect in this fragrance. And trust me, when you guys actually smell this fragrance, whether it be through a nozzle, whether it be actually sprayed on skin, you're going to realize how unique the fragrance is. The reason why it comes in as 15 is, as great and as unique as the fragrance is, it is very situational. I just don't personally see myself wearing this as an everyday scent. I don't see myself gravitating to this unless I really, really want to make a statement. So to me, it's very, very situational. Um, I know Boadicea, they have, the 10 mLs that they came out with that are similar to this, but obviously smaller. I think that would be more than enough, right? So even though I haven't tried Blue Sapphire Supercharged, which I've heard is incrementally more better and more wearable, the one that I do have, Blue Sapphire, it is legendary in my opinion. It's very, very difficult to wear. It's strong. It's in your face, but it's smooth and it's well blended. It's just the balance there in terms of wearability to scent complexity is just what kind of puts this a little bit higher than what other people would. So Blue Sapphire, it's still, in my opinion, a can't miss fragrance. Um, I would say very leaning more towards masculinity type of a scent. Still slightly unisex, but a little bit more masculine. But the scent is a powerhouse and it's very, very unique for what it is. So if you haven't tried it, give Blue Sapphire a try. It might be one of your favorites that you end up with, but number 15 for me. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Coming in at 14 is a fragrance that kind of grew on me. I remember the first time that I tried this fragrance out, I tried it with other fragrances, which the mix and mash was just not it. It was something that I kind of, gravitated away from. But then I gave it another chance because I had like a small little decant that I took home after I made a purchase. And when I actually wore it by itself, it was fantastic. So number 14, we are going to be talking about Night of Love. And what I love about this fragrance is how beautiful it is, especially when you solely wear it on skin and clothes. Banger of a summer fragrance, I think. Even with a little bit of a cooler weather, you get a little bit of airiness with this fragrance. It is done superbly well. Now, what this compares to is Ormond Jane's Montabaco slash Montabaco Intensivo. Very, very much so, almost like for like. However, I do find that a rose comes out in this fragrance a little bit more better. The blend is a little bit more elevated, a little bit, I think the thought process behind this is refinement. But my God, does this fragrance wear extremely well and it lasts. Night of Love to me is a very, very special fragrance just because of this is a signature scent worthy type of fragrance. Even though you have Montabaco Intensivo out there, which is significantly cheaper, if you find a ways to score yourself a deal on Night of Love, this is something I think that you wouldn't hate having in your fragrance collection. It's something that I think you could easily make a signature scent for warmer weather. And even though the scent development isn't as complex, the way that this fragrance unfolds as you wear it puts a smile on your face. There's that special type of feeling with it. So, in my honest opinion, Night of Love coming in at 14, well deserved. Such a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. They say there's a little hint of tobacco in the dry down. I personally don't get too much of it, but it just kind of speaks characteristics of the blend. You're going to get this beautiful aromatic airiness with this. You get a little bit of citrus in here, but it's just ultimately wonderful. There's a little bit of juniper in here, so you get a tiny bit of that sharpness. But again, blend, blend, blend is where this fragrance takes off. No matter how many notes you look at, you got to experience the fragrance and let it kind of develop and get that wearability, and then you'll understand the magic that this bottle holds. So that's Night of Love at 14. Now, speaking of another fragrance blended exceptionally well, this is number 13, and this is Bodacious. Bodacious is wonderful. Now, a lot of people will kind of reference a cherry-based fragrance with Tom Ford's, like, the cherry releases that he had. I think he had like 4 of them. But none can compare to this, in my honest opinion. I think the use of cherry and cognac is done exceptionally well. There's such a mature take to this. To me, This one can lean feminine. This one can lean equally masculine. I think the way that it's done is absolutely well. The fruitiness from the cherry doesn't really kind of feel cloying. It doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel juvenile. It feels very well put together and mature. This fragrance is done really, really well. And the cognac really balances things out. Again, the key element here in this fragrance is pure balance, because you still got vanilla in here, which doesn't take it overly sweet. You got almond in here that doesn't give it that weird almond type of airiness that is kind of known from your Baccarat 540s or from your Pegasus from PDM. It's not like that. I think the blend of it really, really brings forth this wonderful concoction. You get such a nice woody element in here, but that cognac is just done extremely well, especially with that feeling of a cherry, that dark cherry. The two notes just blend excellently well together, and you get some wonderful musk in here. This is such a joy to wear, and I think it coming in at number 13, it's a true testament again that no matter what you think about a certain type of note, you want to give it that chance, right? Because the way that some certain perfumers attack certain notes and kind of blend them can really change your outlook. Because for me, when I got Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, I sprayed it and I was just like, well, not for me, right? And the reason why is it felt like a juvenile fragrance. It felt like sort of like a fragrance made for teenagers. To me, this is not it. This feels more well put together. I'm elevated. I kind of want to wear something a little bit more fun. Yes, absolutely. But I'm still well put together, and I kind of command the area that I'm in. So Bodacious is a can't miss in my opinion, and definitely something you guys got to get your nose on. It's very addictive and just done extremely, extremely well. Got 2 bottles of this in my collection, and I'm not really a backup type of guy. So that's kind of where I sit with this, but fantastic fragrance. So number 13 is Bodacious. Now coming in at number 12 is a fragrance I have referenced once before in this video, not in this video, but in this series. And it was a very similar-ish take to Tiangu. So if you guys remember, awesome. If you don't, that's cool. This is the King. And to put it as simply as possible, the King is an imagination or a reiteration of Plum Japonese from Tom Ford. It's kind of weird because we just came from Bodacious, where we're talking about Lost Cherry from Tom Ford, and now we're talking about Plum Japonese from Tom Ford, but a coincidence probably. But what I love about the King, and what I think it does so much more different than Tom Ford's Plum Japonese, something that I've tried, something that I've worn, something that I've enjoyed, is it takes that beautiful dark fruitiness from the plum, but it adds that tobacco in there. And I think what Plum Japanese does is it focuses a little bit more on it kind of bringing up the plum out of that fragrance with, some of the things sitting in the background, the woodiness, and so on and so forth. What the King does, in my honest opinion, is it amps up on the tobacco while still bringing forth a constant aromatic of plum. And the way that this is done is absolutely balanced perfectly. To me, what I would have loved from Plum Japanese is more tobacco in it. This fixes that issue. I think the King is an absolute must-have in a collection. I will say, if you're a fan of tobacco fragrances, regardless of your gender, you could pull this off because that plum is really nice. However, I do feel like if you're not a fan of tobacco fragrances, don't let that plum be the thing that entices you, because this will be a more heavier tobacco dominant type of fragrance. So it could lean slightly a little bit more masculine, but I think it is truly unisex. But this one is a very, very fun, very, very beautiful fragrance. And again, when you're talking about Tiangu, the Zodiac, that was, I think, in the first video, if I'm not mistaken, compared to the King, the scent profile is a little bit more, is a little similar. This in cost in terms of pricing is night and day. So you get something that's done at a more affordable price point, but the quality is not sacrificed. I think the quality of the King is absolutely phenomenal. And again, if you're a fan of tobacco fragrances and you kind of want something that's similar to Plum Japanese without paying the discontinued premium, you got to go for the King. You got to, right? I don't make money by saying you got to do this or you got to do that, but for real, like ideology thinking, that's exactly what this is there to replace. So get your nose on a sample of this, give it a try, and then try and seek out if you like it. Because it is discontinued. It's slightly getting a little bit more scarce, so a little urgency might be needed if you are trying to secure a bottle. But the King coming in at 12, absolutely fantastic fragrance. So coming in at 11, this is a fragrance that I absolutely love. My wife loves it on me. I'm a huge fan of coffee-based fragrances. This is a treat. Oh my God, it's a treat. It's a treat. It's a treat. Holy crap. This is number 11, and this is Kahwa. Kahwa. Kahwa is so effing good. This is not that BS Latafa crap that all these TikTokers and social media people are peddling to you guys. This is the real deal Kahwa. Anybody that I've shown this fragrance to has gone nuts for it. To the sake of saying, you gotta source me a bottle, figure it out, get me a bottle. I need it in my collection. The spices in this fragrance are done so poetic. Think about just a wonderful pot of kahwa boiling in the background and that aromatic steam and beautiful coffee type of note is just flourishing in the air with spices, just wonderful, wonderful spices just filling the air. This is exactly that. This is such a great representation of kahwa, the actual like coffee. It's remarkable. And the cool thing about this fragrance is the way that it captures itself in cooler air, spring, fall, winter. My goodness, this is a treat. It's like a dessert without feeling like a dessert. You know what I mean? It's done extremely well. So some key elements that I'd really like to highlight here is the wonderful ginger. You got cardamom in here. The cardamom is bursting with so much energy, almost to the feeling of you could taste it, right? You got a little bit of eucalyptus in there. You got coffee in there. It's woody. It's spicy. It's delicious. It's really delicious. It's like you're wearing a drink. It's so blended like extremely well. This is just it's such a treat to have on. In my honest opinion, again, I would love to have rated this higher, but like being true to the list and just kind of seeing what else is there, um, it doesn't make sense. Like realistically, it doesn't make sense. But this is like one of my favorite fragrances from the house. Something that I personally don't think I could live without. Kahwa is absolutely remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And this is something that if you put it in a lineup of other scents that are kind of like for an occasion that you'd kind of wear this for, Kahwa would probably be one of the top two that I'd pick almost every single time. So I don't know. It may not be for everybody, but to me, Kahwa is done incredibly well. So that is coming in at 11. We are now in the top 10. That's crazy. I can't believe we made it here. Coming in at 10 is a fragrance that is considered a rose oud woody fragrance. This is a personal favorite of mine. I do love this one quite a bit. This is Carbon Sapphire. Beautiful bottle. Really wonderful. I really like this. The plaque and even the top. Really done incredibly well, this bottle design. But when we talk about the actual scent, the scent is very powerful. Powerful in the sense that it'll give you confidence, not in the sense that it'll be overpowering like Blue Sapphire. I think this is done extremely well. You got two types of roses in here, one being preferably like a Rose de Mai. You got Oud in here. But the way that the scent really plays out is it captures itself on the wonderful woods that compose this fragrance, such as the oud, such as the sandalwood. There's a beautiful musk component, a cashmerean component in here. So you get some smoothness with this. But the wonderful florals to accompany it with, and also the spices in here, make this a very, very spectacular fragrance. A fragrance that I can actually say, compared to a lot of the other fragrances in this list, I personally don't think there's too much of a comparison. There's a slight leathery component to this. There's a slight sweet component to this, but not a sweetness that's kind of like salivating, like a gourmandy type of sweetness. Feels very almost like a elemi type of sweetness, like a resiny type of sweetness. It's done extremely, extremely well. I'm very sad that there's not much left. You won't be able to tell, but I think there's like maybe like that much left. But at the end of the day, I mean, like I have so many fragrances. It is what it is. But Carbon Sapphire is a very uniquely special fragrance. And again, it may be something that you might need to kind of test out before actually giving it a try, because it may not be for everybody, but to me, the way that this fragrance wears, it's very nice, very airy, but the spiciness that comes in is very fresh. It also, captures a wonderful different type of iteration on a rose oud, which doesn't feel delicate. It really feels, it does feel masculine for sure, and it feels like there's an air of confidence when you wear this, and it really, really showcases. So, Carbon Sapphire to me is the first entry into the top 10, and deservedly so. Really, really, really love this fragrance. So that's 10. Let's go to 9. Coming in at number 9 is the fragrance that is kind of responsible for it all, right? It's kind of what the brand is known, is kind of what is built around, especially with this stunning, stunning cap. This is number 9, Legend. Boadicea herself in the flesh. Well, not in the flesh, in the metallics. What a wonderful fragrance this is. What a wonderful fragrance this is. My. Um, Unisex for sure. Slightly feminine leaning. If you're a fan of Chanel, if you're a fan of the violet, the iris, the powdery types of note with a little bit of that sweetness kind of coming through, this is exactly what Legend is. Such a beautiful composition of orris violet, wonderful florals in here. The depth of this fragrance is absolutely fantastic. Beautiful woodiness in here. And again, the sweetness is done incredibly well. You get that powdery, buttery, smooth sandalwood captured alongside with a slight touch of vanilla with amber to really kind of bring everything together. This is such a wonderful composition. This is something I personally love wearing because I am a huge fan of the House of Chanel, Les Exclusives. And to me, it's not that it copies anything from there. It's really a unique fragrance in its own. But the excellence and blend in this one is just tremendous. Tremendous. If you're not a fan of powdery, you're going to miss out. It is what it is. The bottle in itself, like I love the plaque. I love the burnt feeling of it. It's so good. But yeah, no, this is a clean, powdery, floral scent with a beautiful woodiness to it. Yeah, stand out. And again, for a fragrance to represent the brand in the capacity that it does, I think this is a wonderful entry and a wonderful thought process of what Boadicea, could have smelled like. Maybe, I don't know. It is what it's what I got. It's the reference, right? But it wouldn't surprise me because it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful scent. And if you guys don't know about the story about Boadicea. Some of these fragrance names will start to make sense if you actually read about the tragedy. So yeah, definitely get caught up with it. That's number 9, Legend. Number 8 is a fragrance that is a little bit newer to the collection, but rightfully in the proper place. I have given it enough wearings. I have tested this fragrance out quite a few amount of times. And every time I spray this fragrance, there is a wow factor associated with it, especially when it dries down. It's so wonderful. This is the beautiful Oud Sapphire. I don't know if it shows. The bottle's not red. It's a little bit of a darker pink. And the sapphire is like a pink too. Beautiful. Oud Sapphire. Woody, leathery, smooth, ridiculously smooth. My goodness, this fragrance is nuts. This fragrance is nuts. The wearability of this fragrance, and again, I'm not too much like of a leather type of person, so the leather is really not in your face with this fragrance, but you want it to come out and you want it to kind of flourish. The composition is absolutely stunning, in my honest opinion. There's a dryness to it, but there's a dry sweetness to it. The wearability of this fragrance is nice. It doesn't overextend itself. The scent trail is beautiful. It's very mature, very elegant, very well put together. It's something that, you have a dress shirt on, you're going to feel perfectly balanced wearing this fragrance. You have a suit on, it's perfect for a suit. It's perfect for cooler weather. I will even go out my way. I won't say extremely hot weather, but I will go out my way to say warm weather. This would be an absolute banger to wear. Something about this fragrance to me is just perfect. I don't necessarily say that. When you look at a fragrance, you don't necessarily want to say, oh, okay, well, I would have done this, or I would have added that, or I would have done this differently. To me personally, when I wear this fragrance, I just don't think there's anything else that could have been done better. Quite transparently, you get beautiful spiciness with this fragrance. You get wonderful sandalwood in the background that gives it its wonderful smoothness. Um, you know, it's done great. It's done great. Almost makes me think, did I jump the gun a little bit too much and put this ahead where I shouldn't have? But, realistically, I am comfortable with the list. Yeah, without doubt, I think number 8 will handsomely belong to Oud Sapphire. Got quite a bit of sapphires on this list. So we've touched upon blue, we've touched upon carbon, and we've touched upon Oud Sapphire. We're going to bring another sapphire in on this list, and this is coming in at 7. This is Aqua Sapphire. Beautiful fragrance. I done a little mini review, like a little bit of an unboxing and a review to it, but to really sum up this fragrance, this is a very transitional fragrance. Beautifully long lasting. Beautifully long lasting. As you can tell by the name, Aqua Sapphire is a aquatic based fragrance. It will sort of feel like Megamari from Ortho Parisi, which in its own fragrance is a beast in itself. But what Aqua Sapphire does tremendously well is it knocks out all the synthetics. It said, Megamari, you hold the synthetics. We don't want that. It does it so beautifully, effortlessly. Oh, it smells so elegant and so well done. The aquatics in here are beautiful. There's no freshness to it. I don't want to say dampness in the sense that it feels muddy or muggy, but it feels a little bit of a darker aquatic, yes, but it's not overtly dark where you feel like, oh, I'm, in the darkest parts of the ocean. It's almost like you're seeing just underneath the surface where the water is like flickering off of the sun. It's that type of warming, comforting type of feel. Beautiful fragrance. And It is a transitional fragrance to me where I think it had 3 steps to it. Very, again, very long lasting. One step that, in my opinion, took me over the moon was a rose, a beautifully delicate rose that came out of nowhere. I'm wearing the fragrance, I'm probably 8 hours in, and all of a sudden I'm smelling this beautiful floral. And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, I'm like, I didn't spray anything different. This feels like a totally, almost totally different type of fragrance. And it was just this in the air. It was just that in the air, just kind of flourishing, doing its own thing, naturally feeling like a beautiful rose just sitting beside a, water. It's so, there's something about it. There's something about it that's just absolutely whimsical. Um, Yeah, Aqua Sapphire is definitely deserving of being there. And in my honest opinion, I was low key thinking Oud Sapphire or Aqua Sapphire, which one would take the place. And rightfully so, I think the depth, the complexity of Aqua Sapphire is something that kind of, you know, gives it its deserved spot at number 7. And coming in at number 6 is a fragrance that I highly, highly recommend. And again, just to really put that out there, I don't make any money by recommending fragrances, especially with Boadicea. But this one is such a banger for summer. It's such a wonderfully done fragrance. And it really does surprise me that it comes higher rank than Aqua Sapphire in a sense. But when I realistically think about it, it does deserve it. And this is number 6, Ice Twist. Ice Twist is a wonderful scent. It's a fun scent. It's a joyous scent. It's a summer type of scent and something that you could potentially wear all season long. This could easily be a signature scent. The simplicity of the scent is really there in terms of wearability, and it has all these components that strike amazing chords, especially when it comes to wearability. But the way that it's blended is just fun. It's almost like a cocktail type of fragrance. You get wonderful red berries, you get this beautiful aquatic nature to it, but then you also get this wonderful juniper in here. The juniper mixed in with rum and cognac, it's just done incredibly well. There's this sharpness, there's this delicacy, there's this fruitiness, there's this burst of energy that really comes through the aromatics of this fragrance with the scent trail just really, really doing its thing and just making people around you feel instantaneously happy. That's the power of Ice Twist. I think it's an absolute banger of a fragrance, almost entirely a must have. Very, again, 50-50 unisex. Any gender could easily wear this and enjoy this. I want to dress this up, you can dress it up. You want to dress it down, you could dress it down. You want to go and have brunch with the girlies, drinks with the boys, whatever the case may be, whatever your environment is, this would be suited for almost nearly anything. Um, as before I probably release this video, I'm probably gonna find my way to secure a backup bottle of it because I want to go through no scarcity. But Ice Twist is just done absolutely, absolutely well. And I mean, just think about it. You're talking about 6 on the list. Yeah, that's high praise. Give it a try. Give it a try, and if you have given it a try, let everybody else know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Because yeah, Ice Twist to me is a can't miss from Boadicea, in my honest opinion. So that rounds out the list. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. So let me know what you guys think, of the list. In the next episode, just to kind of summarize it, what we'll do is we'll hit the last 5 fragrances on the list, and then I'll give like a sort of like a explanation on whether I think the house is worth it to explore, what my thoughts are entirely of the house, and it'll be a nice video to kind of sum up the series. So thank you guys always as joining and checking out the videos and supporting the channel. Much love you guys to the moon. Make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you like, comment, and let me know what you guys would like to see. But till then, till the next video, Much love. Peace out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.